guys, drdecks here. Just recap on what we've done from last time. We're finishing up our hand railing, our Regal Ideas textured black 36-inch high aluminum picket railing. Phil's cutting in the spacers right now, because what we like to do is when we're doing a rail set, we just don't slap the first picket in and then end up with something else. We like to space each end equally. It just looks a lot cleaner, a lot nicer. So Phil's figuring all those out right now and making it so that each end has the same amount of reveal from side to side. And I'm actually making some new corners. We're starting to do a cascading corner. All right. And what I'm doing is I'm creating these cascading 45 and 22.5 degree angles. And those are for all of our corners where normally a board would come together and miter. You're trying to keep that miter together all the time. Well, this way, the board is actually still one piece. And what I do is I take a heat gun and I heat up the area. So it starts as a straight board like this with a groove cut in it. And I heat both sides of it until it gets pliable. And then I add some glue and some activator. And then I bend it together and glue it, hold it for like 10 seconds, and then this thing is pretty strong. So I got to make 3 outside 90-degree corners and 9 outside 22.5 degree corners. I've already got my 45s figured out. I'm getting ready to bend my last one. So I'm just going to take you along for the journey and just kind of show you the whole shebang here. Get yourself a good heat gun. This Metabo HPT is a really sweet one. It's got a digital readout. And you can adjust the temperature, high and low, and there's 2 different settings, a high setting and a low setting. It's kind of a cool heat gun. So I'm going to start with, you don't want to put your heat gun, you can get it pretty close to the material, but you don't want to keep it in one spot for very long. Okay? If you do, you're asking for it. And then I'm doing some on the heat on the inside as well. You can see it's starting to get a little bendy. And I want that pretty pliable. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to take some, this is AZEK glue. I'm going to put that in there. And then this is a 2P10 super glue that works really well with PVC. So I'm going to drop a little bit of that. And then I'm going to use the 2P10 activator, and I'm going to spray that on the other side of the board. And then I'm going to bend this over and just hold it. And I've got a little bit of glue on this side, so I'm going to wipe that. Try to keep this as clean as possible, at least on the miters. That way I have a choice of which side I want up, which side I want down. And what the activator does is it chemically bonds the super glue to the other side of the miter. So that's pretty tight. I'll go with that. So I'll probably take this side up, and then I'll just file off any edges, and then I'll give it a quick rasp like that. And what's going to happen? I'll take you over to the corner and we'll show you really quick. All right. So normally the way we used to trim decks is we would butt joint everything. So these are just sample pieces. I know they're grooved. They're not going up here. I'm just showing you guys, okay? So normally, because miters would never stay together, we'd always butt joint our decks like this. And then we'd put screws right through here into this board, plus here and everywhere else. And that would hold pretty well. But then you're always seeing an end grain, and we would paint that with color matching paint, and it looked pretty good. Never really had a complaint with it, but we're going to up our game a little bit. And this way, we have this pre-finished edge. So there's no exposed end grains. We don't have to paint anything. It would normally look like this, and then we'd paint that brown, right? But now we have this nice cascading look that just flows. And then what we'll do is we'll install this right here, and then all we have to do is bring in our other piece and butt joint those together like that. So that's the plan. Watch angle.
You gotta get in here. A dock fee up to $150, maybe added to the sale price. Check inventory online at sunsetused.com.
With the technology new cars have, your ride is amazingly affordable.
Are you having some issues?
I was just trying to get the miter to fit a little bit tighter, but it's just not quite wanting to. Oh, if I push on it, maybe I need to cut a little bit more out of the depth, because that looks great, except now it has kind of a hump in it. Kind of had to push on it to get it nice and tight. But it kind of humps the... That might be the trick, though. It's either that or I got to take a little bit more out of the top out of this.
So is this a wheel board?
Yeah, we're gonna see how well I can make this turn. It doesn't have the same fit as a 45 does, but I'm gonna try one more time. I'm gonna try to decrease the gap a little bit. Phil, I'm gonna try a couple things here and see if I can't. I think I'm close, but it looks like this cut might not have worked the way I thought it was going to. So I got to make this baby nice and pliable. So I'm going to try to shove it together a little bit as I glue it. And I lose a little bit of heat between the gluing time. So I might add a little more heat to it. Oh, there we go. Now I got to take it over and make sure I'm on my angle. Yeah, I think that'll work.